Hey there guys, welcome back. Today I've got a new shop project to work on, and that is going to be replacing this old rickety shop stool that I've had for the past 10 years or so with a new homemade custom one out of metal and some scrap plywood that I had on hand. I'm thinking the cost is going to be about 20 to 30 bucks, but I guess we'll see at the end. So let me show you my concept and then I'll get to building. Here's the basic concept. Obviously it's going to serve primarily as a stool with a wooden top and a wooden back. And it's going to have metal legs, but the main function I want it to serve as, other than a stool, is for the back to fold down like that and make it into a little step stool. I also want to try to come up with some other little things, but those are going to be the two primary functions. So I'm going to call this one the dual stool. So let me get to building and see kind of what this thing's going to look like.
The first step in this project was to figure out how big my stool was going to be. I'm using basic dimensions for my old stool and then adding a couple inches of height. Right here I'm just laying out some rough pieces to get a general shape of what I'm looking for. Once I had my final angles marked and cut, now it was time to start welding them together. Once I had my general frame together, now was time to weld the folding pivot arms that would hold the seat back as well as the step of the step stool. For both the seat and the backrest, I laminated two 3/4 inch pieces of plywood together to get an 1.5 inch thick board for both surfaces. Once the backrest assembly was complete, now it was time to fit the backrest board onto that assembly. And here I'm just grinding down some of the uneven or just plain ugly welds that I had. And if you look closely, I'm pretty much grinding down every one of them. And pretty much all the components got finished with Darbin Orvar's raw linseed oil and beeswax polish. To make stops for all of the moving pieces, I used a simple T-bracket with one side bent up, a bolt as the pivot portion, and a sheet metal screw as the eventual stop. Here it is in action.
Okay, now that the stool's done, let me give you an overview of the three primary functions that I hope to use it for. After that, I'll give you a little more of a detailed look of how all the latches, levers, and other little things work. So first and foremost, I plan on using this just as a stool 99% of the time. It's got the same angle of seat back as my old stool, and other than that, there's one little function is the footrest, and that has a couple of different options. If you like to have your legs just free swing, you can fold it back like that, and that's pretty much it for the stool. Second to that is the purpose as a clamping or grinding station. I've got these holes drilled on the top just like my workbench, and what I can do is use these to clamp a piece of wood to or whatever I'm sanding or working on, and then I can fold this little footrest down and let it swing down to the center, put my foot on it, and that's going to give me a nice sturdy base if I really need to get into a workpiece. So after that, the other third main function is going to be the step stool. You'll see it's got little levers here on the back. Just fold this up, fold this down, and you get your step stool. and it's pretty darn sturdy. So let me show you. I'm 230 pounds and it doesn't seem to flex at all for me. So now let me take you and give you a little more detailed look of all of these different functions.